tuning in. I'm Margaret-Hunter Wade, and you're watching Cox Connections only on Cox 9. Designed for students with varied learning disabilities, the CrossWalk program at North Cross School equips children with the skills they need to improve their academic performance. The program director, Kit Prillaman, and North Cross Headmaster, Proctor, are here to tell us more. Thank you both for joining me.
Thank you for having us.
Very nice to see you, and a very interesting program, and I'm curious, and I'm sure our viewers are too, to hear more about the CrossWalk program.
Well, the mission of the CrossWalk program is to help educate children with specific learning disabilities, such as dyslexia, reading disorder, dysgraphia, disorder of written expression, dyscalculia, which is a math disorder, or a central auditory processing disorder. The goal of CrossWalk is not only to teach these children how to read, write, and spell, but is to help them identify their strengths and weaknesses, teach them study skills so that when they return to the traditional classroom, they will be prepared to be academically successful.
Excellent. So you kind of touched on it. It's not somewhere that they just go to school exclusively, but this is in addition to their regular classes to get help with their learning disability.
Right. It is a program specifically targeted for children with language-based learning differences who are very bright, and their academic achievement is not matching up with their strong cognitive skills. And so we help to teach them the skills that they need so that they can return to the classroom and be very successful.
And these are diagnoses from a doctor or something that a teacher maybe has discovered while working with the students? How, do you find the students?
Well, our students typically come to us. Oftentimes it's a very similar story. We will get contacted by parents or a teacher if the student is within the North Cross community, and there's a disconnect. It's a very bright student, very smart, and for some reason they're just not achieving in the classroom the way that you would predict that they would. So the student is frustrated, the parents are frustrated, they're not sure how to help the student, and extra help in the same way is not doing the trick. Right. They need specialized instruction. So if they haven't already gone to a psychologist to get an evaluation for a diagnosis, that's what we recommend, and then ask them to return to us with their evaluation. And if it comes back that they have a specific reading disorder or disorder of written expression, dysgraphia or dyslexia, they're a good candidate for our program.
Okay, so what does the process look like for the student when they come to you? What, how would an afternoon at CrossWalk look like?
Well, we typically, the nice thing about CrossWalk is that it is offered during the day. And so once a student is enrolled in our program, they usually come to us in the morning because that's when we find that students are at their best. And we take them for several hours every day, and it's a seamless transition between our program and their homeroom classroom in the school, in the lower school. And they will come to us for reading, writing, and math instruction. And then they will go back to the regular classroom for their electives, for science and social studies, Spanish, gym, lunch, all the fun stuff that they do with all the other kids.
Okay, great. And I think you have an example that you were going to show us of what this might look like in the classroom itself.
I do. So we use Orton-Gillingham instruction, which is a multisensory method of instructing kids where they see it, they say it, they do it, they hear it, and what research has shown us is that that is the best way for kids to really learn. We usually start with a drill. Oftentimes when children have reversals, we call it the BD punch, and you'll see this student is at the board punching out his B's and D's to make sure that we're remediating for those reversals. I have another clip of a drill that our teacher, Don Hollinsworth, is working on with a student at the board where he is scooping out, we call it scooping, he's sounding out each individual letter, and then she will say a word and he fills in the letters that complete that word to help with his spelling. There's another fun drill that our kids love where it's an auditory warm-up drill, and you will see on the board that there are some letter sounds on the board, and the child takes the fly swatter, and when the teacher says the word, he has to identify the letters that are making those sounds.
Excellent. So you're really taking issues for the children, stuff that's challenging, and trying to make it fun, which I think is what you were saying. That's how it all comes together, and it's something they can respond to.
Right. It's using this multisensory method of instruction, and when North Cross started this program a couple of years ago, they really put some time and energy into researching the best method for instructing these children that have a reading disorder, disorder of written expression. And the method that they chose was Orton-Gillingham. So several years ago, before the pilot program started, they sent a few of the teachers to a school in Winston-Salem to do this training. And then they came back and they did a 2-year practicum, a supervised practicum, to really understand how to teach these children well every day.
Excellent. So this brings us to you, Dr. Proctor, and you mentioned that it is at North Cross, but why is this a fit for a private school here in the Roanoke Valley?
Well, one of the things we pride ourselves on is trying to take each individual child and maximizing their potential. And so really this isn't outside our normal course of study, but truly with these children, over the course of years, I've always seen these kids that are seem to be so bright, and yet despite their hard work, and their effort, the actual results just don't seem to match up to what you would expect. And for so many of these kids, it is a language-based learning disability, and it's frustrating for educators as it is for teachers and students, or parents and students that are going through it. So this was a way I thought we could continue to do what we do, which is to try to meet the individual needs of students, but do it in a way that I think would be most beneficial for these children.
Outstanding. So if folks want to learn more about it, or perhaps sign their child up, what's the best way to get more information?
They can always call North Cross, or they can visit our website, northcross.org, and pull up the CrossWalk program. And we actually have several links on there that would provide some additional information for parents as well.
Excellent. Well, thank you both. This is a really interesting program. I'm glad we got to learn more about it.
Thank you for having us.
To learn more about the CrossWalk program, contact Kit Prillaman at North Cross School, or visit them on the web at the address on your screen. Before you go, I want to personally thank you for choosing Cox Communications for your entertainment, information, and communication needs. We know you could have chosen another provider, but because you chose us, we promise to provide you with quality products backed up by a talented local team of professionals. I'm Margaret-Hunter Wade, and we'll see you next time on Cox Connections.